Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Figuratively Speaking. Tonight, I want to take a deep dive into Masters of the Universe, Man-at-Arms. Positively one of the most phenomenal characters in the Masters of the Universe series. Man-at-Arms, also known as Duncan. The role of Man-at-Arms in the government of Eternia was to advise the ruling planetary monarch and the Royal Guard on military and police affairs. But he was also the creator of, if not all the weapons, most of the weapons, melee, lasers, as such, as well as vehicles, upgrades to armors, and also the adopted father of Teela. But it's also speculated that Man-at-Arms could be Teela's biological father. However, as we know in canon, that's not necessarily true. In the early mini-comics, Man-at-Arms is portrayed somewhat differently. His appearance is more in line with the toy, and as there was no royal family, yet there is no mention of them. In the first mini-comic, there is also no mention of his relationship to Teela, who is instead portrayed as a warrior goddess. Instead, the only background given for the character in He-Man and the Power Sword is that his people were masters of all weapons. He seems to be well known in this version of Eternia, but little information is really given beyond this point. But on the second wave of the mini-comics, Man-at-Arms is first referred to as Teela's father. The mini-comic The Tale of Teela reveals that years ago he saved the goddess from having all of her powers drained by a magical clone created by Skeletor. And since the goddess' duties impeded her from raising the now powerless clone, Man-at-Arms raised her as his own daughter and named her Teela. In the stories written by Paul Kupperberg for DC, Man-at-Arms is unaware that Prince Adam and He-Man are one and the same. Because of this, he displays as much disdain for Adam's apparent lack of interest in being anything more than a womanizing layabout as Teela does. In the 1980s animated series, Duncan is an inventor, soldier, and Teela's foster father, as well as a mentor to Prince Adam. The sorceress of Castle Grayskull asked Man-at-Arms to adopt Teela because she felt she could not raise her daughter and protect Castle Grayskull at the same time. Begging, "Please take care of my daughter," Man-at-Arms complied. "She will always be safe with me. for as long as I live. Man-at-Arms wears armor which is slightly different from that of the standard uniform of the Royal Guards. His mustache was not present on the original figure, as we all know. Having been added by Filmation to make him look older, wiser, and more fatherly, Man-at-Arms has an understanding, fatherly voice. He is often aggravated with the court jester Orko. Orko's magic tricks often backfire directly at him. Duncan is also one of the three people who know He-Man's secret identity, as explained in the introductory sequence of the cartoon. Also, Man-at-Arms knows that Adam's twin sister is Adora and is also She-Ra. However, the She-Ra part is not necessarily known by Man-at-Arms until later on in the Princess of Power line. More than an ally and a friend to Adam, he sometimes shows him a great fatherly regard as a second father, especially when Adam has to leave the scene taking his defense by telling King Randor that Adam has something to do in understanding Prince Adam's duties becoming He-Man. The 2002 cartoon portrays Duncan as a much more serious and daunting character, with more than a connection to the sorceress than previously showed in the Filmation series. Man-at-Arms is Teela's adoptive father, but he is also an officer with the definite rank of general, as well as Man-at-Arms. And what's funny is that when Fisto comes in to play in the 2002 or 2000X cartoon, Fisto is revealed as Duncan's mentor. For 2 centuries, the attorney and weapons master and combat instructor to the royal family has been called Man-at-Arms, trained by a renowned tactician, a man named Dakar, a veteran of the Great Unrest. Duncan was asked by King Randor to step into the position and fortify his guard with an elite strike force, which he named the Masters of the Universe. In addition to his skills in combat, Duncan is also a great inventor and helped construct electronic versions of the Power Sword for Adam to use until he could unite both halves of the sword of King Grayskull, which is an interesting turn of events in the 2000X cartoon, as well as the comic books. Man-at-Arms and his adopted daughter Teela often scout the borders of Eternia for signs of lurking evil. And getting into Masters of the Universe, Netflix, Revelation, of course we know within the first cartoon that Teela feels like she's been lied to, and Duncan feels like he's now lost his daughter because Teela walks out. And it's there's a lot going on in the persona of Man-at-Arms that you get to know, especially through like the mini comics, and with his first real appearance being in He-Man and the Power Sword. Also, Battle in the Clouds, The Vengeance of Skeletor, The Ordeal of Many Faces, The Menace of Trapjaw, The Tale of Teela, The Magic Stealer, The Power of Point Dread, Dragon's Gift. There is a ton of appearances in the mini comics. Man-at-Arms is a very well-rounded character. And you can go so many ways with them, which they have done very well. I really can't wait to see what they do with the new Netflix series that's coming as the sequel to Revelations, which is going to be known as Revolution. I really can't wait for that to hit Netflix. But with no further ado, I'm going to grab my Man-at-Arms. This is a very awesome figure. Revelation Man-at-Arms. And of course the fantastic artwork. Man-at-Arms, heroic master of weapons, bound by duty and honor to the royal crown of Eternia. The man whose friends referred to him simply as Duncan protects the realm under the mantle of Man-at-Arms, considered to be one of the most powerful allies in the battle against evil. Man-at-Arms is a warrior, an inventor, a mentor to Prince Adam, a friend to the forces of good, and a father of Teela and Roboto, and fights to protect them all. Now, I don't remember exactly which way Man-at-Arms comes from in the Masterverse setup. A wonderful figure. I didn't think I was actually going to like this figure in the Masterverse series because he really looks so different. And I'm glad I decided to get him because this is such a phenomenal character, a awesome figure in every way. And I didn't cheat this time. I opened everything up on screen. Normally I pre-open. So bear with me, please, just a moment. As I open up this figure. If you do not have this figure in your Masterverse collection, if you collect Masterverse, I would say definitely add this figure to your collection because I'm really in love with the way this figure looks. And I know I say that about just about every figure I have. Man at Arms definitely has a certain soft spot in my heart. Whereas being the adopted father of Tila, it's it really gets to the heart of me because I was adopted at 11 years old. So the adoption process, is it's something. I really love this mace. This is a really wonderful weapon, and it's got some real weight to it. I really like it. I love the design of it. I like the fact that it has these rivets kind of sort of in the hilt or in the base of it. And of course that hilt looks really, really nice. Kind of wish there was like some leather colored paint right here in this. I'll probably definitely do some custom work to that. Stretch it out, put my stress marks into it, but I definitely want to straighten it out. That might be, I'll have to heat that up to get that done right. Man at Arms comes with a total of 6 hands, the 2 that he's already got on. The 4 here, which is a holding fist, a closed fist, well, 2 closed fists, and also another hand here that is just kind of outstretched like this. I won't bother taking those out, but it's definitely the attention to detail on them is magnificent. I really like the armor. I wish the shoulder pad was a little bit tighter to the shoulder. It's kind of floppy. Not kind of floppy, it's real floppy. But still very nice. The attention to detail on the head and the face. I really like it. Get a better view without the attention to detail. Silver in the top middle, all the way back. The copperish, wire-ish type thing going on all over the helmet on both sides. That is really fantastic. And then Duncan always this particular Duncan Man-at-Arms really kind of reminds me more of like a Star Wars type helmet on here, but I really like it. I really love the concept of the way this Man-at-Arms is a lot. I really love the mix of army green here. I guess you call it a hunter green. It's really nice. And then on the armor itself, as you can see, you got that like woolly, hairy green is what that. It's like a wool on the outside here, and it's green colored, so it's for camouflage and whatnot. But I really like how they did that, and how this is the attention to detail in the front. I really like that. Very nice. And then, of course, you've got hands that come out. But I love this forearm gauntlet. It's very different from what you get with the vintage line and even the Origins line. And I think that's what really draws me now to the Masterverse collection. It's not that they're just bigger figures, but it's the attention to detail that they give each figure. Their armor, their weapons, the articulation. It's really fantastic. And just pulling out one of the hands anyway. Look at the attention to detail as far as the fingers, the hands themselves. Like, you could probably do a palm reading with the hand. Don't know if you can see that. Like, you can really see the hand creases, so it's very it looks very real, and I really love that about these figures. And that's what really draws me to the Masterverse line, is because the attention to detail. I really like his wrist bracer that he has here. I don't know if you can see, but that's definitely got like a glitter gloss on it. And I really love that. It fits the figure, especially with the helmet, because the helmet's done the same way, only this is matte, but where it has the gloss of the silver, it really goes well with this figure. It goes very well with this figure. I've definitely enjoyed collecting this line, and love Masters of the Universe. It's definitely one of my favorite of all the lines, but like the cartoon itself from Filmation was amazing to me as a kid and still amazes me, and I will definitely enjoy being able to share that with my girls. Now again, he's got that nice chest wobble even underneath. Um, do I, yeah, I do. I want to show it off because why not? It's Man at Arms. Simple ease of being able to take the armor off. I particularly like how they did this with the, I guess it's like a copperish orange brown they used on this. However, I would think I would like I'll do some custom on this because I think the hoses, I guess these are on the side, as that might be a breathing apparatus of some sort in case stink whirs around, whatever, gases and smoke. Uh, Makes great for this ventilation type thing here. But I really like that. It's very plain back, but that's okay. It's Man at Arms. I'm stoked with how they did the front. And again, it's very different from the vintage. It's very different from Origins. Going back into showing the chest, I really like this book. I want to say that I think it is the same book as most of the others, but I really want to show off the belt. Look at that fabulous work on the belt. Again, you got that sky blue going around the edges of the belt. You got the red, um, I'm going to call it a jewel, but I don't think it's a jewel. Um, then you got that sapphire blue. Uh, that the sapphire blue again is glittery, so it definitely takes a shine. But I really want to show the attention to detail again in the loincloth. I really love the way that they've done the loincloths in Masterverse. Um, it's definitely more of that barbaric feel, and it gives the character I think, a better look all the way around. And of course, you got the hands that go all the way around. You got the arms, where they are not necessarily double jointed, but you can get the arms in some really good, like you can get the arms definitely almost behind the head, and they can definitely strike some poses. And I really like that. And of course, you got the thigh rotation, and the knees are double jointed, of course. Very high into like the middle of the back on that double joint, and I really like that. I also want to pay real close attention to the boots, you got that black with the army green, and then on them straps, you got the black with the army green straps all the way down to the foot, which you got a really nice tilt on. And of course, it can also do the whole like he's breaking his ankle type thing. Really love the articulation on this figure, and I definitely love the artisticness of the paint that Mattel did on this. And again, now you got the knee buckler, shin guard with it, and simple but very man-at-arms. What you would think of a warrior, a general in the Eternian army. Fantastic figure. Put his armor back on. So again, I would definitely make this a part of, well, I did. I made him part of my collection. He's one that I've been looking for quite a while. I got a steal of the deal getting this figure. And unfortunately, I couldn't get him from BBTS, and I couldn't get him from Entertainment Earth, but I did get him from eBay, from a third-party seller who was just willing to get rid of them at a very decent price. In fact, he was definitely cheaper than Entertainment Earth and or BBTS, which I was quite surprised. So when I got him, when I seen that I had to get it, I did. He's definitely got that full boot pivot or 360 swing. He's got a very, very nice wingspan. Just absolute. He deserves to be a general. That is my review of Man-at-Arms. I would definitely give this a 10 out of 10. Great workmanship, Mattel. Thank you very much for producing this figure. If you like this kind of content, reviews and such, and somewhat of a backstory for the characters, please hit the like button, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining, and I will see you next week.